What's up, YouTube? The 3rd was my birthday, and the 1st of September I got to order something that I was really excited about. It came in today, and today is the 7th. What could this be? Well, about 2 years ago, I put a video up that the concept of the discussion that we were having was the video on how to build one of these. And I have a video out how to put your lower together. It's not rocket science, but it does take a little bit of knowledge to put one together. It's not that hard. There's plenty of videos on YouTube, and it was fun. A lot of people, go out and buy your ARs. I kind of like tinkering, so it was really fun to put this thing together. And this is my first build. This is a Magpul stock. I'm not sure the name of it because I'm not tactical enough, I guess. I'm sure y'all recognize it. And this is a Magpul grip. I think it's an OEM. I'm not sure exactly what one. I mean, I could look all that information up. And it comes with stuff to put your whatever you would like to have in there. Oil and what have you. Most people would probably put oil and stuff like that in there, because you're, to my knowledge, are supposed to lubricate your bolt carrier group. So this is real fun to put together. I got it from Palmetto State Armory, and as you can see on that, that's what this buffer is. So, and the trigger group is their trigger group that's nickel boron polished, and it's real smooth. It's got lubricity, I'm sure. And so what came in the mail today was none other than this. Alright. You might wonder what that is. This, my friends, is my 223 Wild. And a lot of people might sit there and scratch their head and say, what the crap did he just say? Well, the 223 Wild was a guy by the name of Bill Wild masterminded this. This is his mastermind. And it is a tighter chamber than a 5.56 or a 223, and he shot competition from what I understand, and he was a competition shooter, and I guess that he wanted a more accurate gun, so he went to work and came up with a 223 Wild. It will shoot either or, 223 or 5.56, just because it's a 223. At the beginning of it, a lot of people will say, well, you can't shoot 5.56. No, you can shoot 5.56 in a 223 Wild. You cannot shoot one and say you go somewhere and buy you a 223 Remington. No. Pressures will be too high. You're more likely going to blow it up. I would not advise that. But this will shoot both the 5.56 NATO and the 223 Remington. So This is a Palmetto State upper receiver. And it looks pretty nice. Got all the T marks, which I had a BMG upper receiver, and I paid a little bit of money for it, and it was scratch and dent or whatever you want to call it. It's got markings on it where I think it was like a demo type where they would show their uppers how they were made, and it was a I don't know, a display piece, I guess. So I got it for a little bit cheaper than what a brand new one cost. It had a little bit of minor scuffing. Now, speaking of blemished, it was a blemished upper. Now, this I got from Palmetto State also. You can see the logo right there. Right there. Maybe. But this was a blemished receiver. I paid $49 for the receiver. Now that's stripped. And when I got this, I could not find any type of blemish on it. So how they can sell, in my opinion, what looks factory new, it was, to my opinion, but they sold it as a blemished lower, and it's quite a bit cheaper. So I read reviews, and people were going on about saying basically what I just said, how the receiver had no blemishes on it. It looks brand spanking new, and when I received mine, I could say the same thing. So if you're thinking about buying a blemish from there, it's Palmetto State Armory.com, I believe, is a website. If you're thinking about buying a blemished, it's made in South Carolina. If you're thinking about buying a blemished receiver, by all means, don't hesitate, because I'm telling you, it looks, I couldn't find anything, and I looked, and I had another guy look it over, and I couldn't find anything really wrong with it. And now I'm in the light. I've had this for 2 years, and I think I may have found the blemish. And if that's what they're calling a blim right there, and you probably can't even, it's like a hairline. You probably cannot even see it. It's like a hairline scratch right there. And I've heard people say that you can get model paint testers, flat black model paint. You know, you can go to Walmart anywhere and buy it for $1.50, $2, something like that. And they said, they claim that it matches perfectly to the matte black that's on these receivers and stuff. So this is an M-LOK style. Yeah, I guess I missed playing the bass, you know, because I'm holding this thing like my bass. It's an M-LOK style handguard. It's floating handguard, to my knowledge, and this is their 223 Wild 1 in 7 twist stainless steel barrel, and that may be upside down. I can't really see, can't really tell. Believe it is. They had a name for it, you know. They got I'm not sure what the model of the barrel was, but this was built all as one unit. So, and it was on sale, and I got, you know, like I said, I was really wanting to build mine, but for what I was going to have invested in it, I was going to have more in the upper than what I have in the total freaking gun that I have right here, laying right here. In the total gun, just in the upper. So I was going to build it piece by piece, and then, you know, I seen it's not practical unless you have all the tools, which I didn't. I was going to have to go get a wrench, impact wrench, or not an impact wrench, but a torque wrench rather. And you can borrow those from like AutoZone or your auto parts store. Some of them kind of have like a rent concept thing where you may leave a core charge, I guess, of so much money, and then you go rent the tool, and when you bring it back, you get your money back. So anyway, this is what we are building, what we have. What we're putting in this thing, the heart of the gun, is not other than the Fill Zero bolt and bolt carrier group. Very sweet, very nice packaging. They sell the bolt carrier group, the bolt. You can also buy a trigger, and you can buy a trigger and a hammer, and also you can buy just a hammer as a unit. They sell a bolt, they sell the you know, the bolt carrier group and the trigger assembly, and or you can just get like the bolt and the carrier group and the hammer. Now this is an automatic bolt carrier group, and you can tell by the section back here is not neutered, a 223. So if I had a fully functioning automatic weapon right here, I put this bolt in there and it would work as a fully automatic firearm. The 223 is neutered back here. They kept this section out, so you just got, you know, you just got that much around about that's in the tail end of it. So you can run this thing dry. That's what their claim to fame is, I guess. This is a nickel. This is a XO nickel boron coating, I believe. It's guaranteed for life. If it ever chips, cracks, any of that stuff, just send it back. Like I said, it's has its own lubricity. You don't have to worry about running it dry, because most carrier groups you have to lube, you know, your phosphate and nitride and all that. I would say, not an expert, just what I've gathered, the information I've gathered just by watching various stuff. It's regurgitated crap, I guess. But anyway, we're going to drop this thing in here, and I just got a, yeah, I just got a really cheap charging handle. I think it's like $26. I was going to get the BMG Gunfighter, and I mean, it's got this, and I'm not real sure. I thought that this was the Gunfighter style with this spring-loaded thing on there. Might be wrong about that. Like I said, I'm just now getting into the black rifle, so just go lightly on me if some of my information is not fully 100% correct. I don't claim to be an expert, like I said. So we put that in there, and you make sure that the bolt is out. Drop this in here. And there you go. And then you just line up the pins. I know this is terrible camera work, I apologize. Just line up the pins, and you push. It's probably not lined up. It is now. You line it up, and then you just push the pins in. There we go. Wasn't 100% lined up. And of course, just push the pins in. I got the back one in. There we go. You just got to line it up. And right here is our final. Give me a second here, guys. I apologize. I had to put the leg out a certain way. Just where I had the camera, had to do it that way. So, right here she is in all her glory. We got the Fel Zero at the heart of it. Should be a really good bolt carrier group and bolt. And I definitely love the stainless steel. It's what I wanted. I love stainless guns. They're like, I don't like doing this, we're saying this, but you can kind of neglect them a little bit, which is a practice that I typically don't do. I like taking care of my guns, but I do have a 1911 Smith & Wesson that is totally stainless, and I might just wipe the carbon off the slide and where the ejection and stuff is, where it comes out the slide, and just wipe it down and go from there. I need to get some P-mags. I have no magazines for this thing, and it is empty. I have no rounds, no mag. It would be an interesting concept to shoot this thing single shot without a magazine. I ain't even going to try it. So, guys, this has been a long project in the making, and I'm glad to say that I finally got it mastered, and my wife was good enough to get this for me for my birthday. My mom and dad gave me some money to chip in for it, and they're not real cheap, but all in all, this thing was around. I built this rifle with the exception of the upper being pre-assembled from factory, which, you know, isn't that big of a thing. Like I said, I would like to have built it, but all the fun stuff is probably right here in the lower, because there's not a whole heck of a lot to do with your upper besides your gas block, gas tube, cranking your barrel down, paint your guard on, and your brake, and that's about it. You know, I know you got to put shell, air shell, and that's what it looks like that they got in here. If you see the gray stuff right there, I say that's air shell. That's NATO spec type of grease that they use for a lot of applications. So I am very forward to looking to take this to the range. Got to put an optic on it, and I have no money right now. I'm totally wiped out now because of this, but I'm going to save some money and get a good optic. I was thinking about putting the P223 Nikon. It's got the BCD on it. BDC, bullet drop compensator. And I have one of those for my muzzle loaders, and it's a really good scope. And I went to Field and Stream. We just got a Field and Stream opened up here where I'm at, and I went and looked at theirs, and it was around about, for the 3x9, it's right at $200, and I want something a little more than a 3x9, just because of range time, because I'm going to be more at the range than hunting with it. Granted, where I live here in West Virginia, your typical shot, no lie, is bow range. Okay, if you take a 100-yard shot, that's probably going to be about the farthest shot, because where I live it's so brushy and it's a thick wooded area, and you know, it's not like out west, you know, where you're going to take these insanely 600, 700-yard shots. I wish you could, but my shooting range, the longest shot that's at my range is around 300, 320 yards. So, but a 3x9 would work fine on this. I just want, my eyes aren't that spectacular, and I got about a 4x18, I think, on my 223 Remington, my Savage. That's what I'd like to get, because the scope's powerful enough at 100 yards. I can see, you know, where the holes are. I need to get a spotting scope. You know, I need to get a lot of things. It all takes money. If you want to make a donation, please, I'll take it. So anyway, that's what Widow has been up to here lately, and I'm really ecstatic, and I can't wait to get out to the range and try it out. Catch you on the flip side later.